Welcome to Gate City Chronicles. I'm Kevin Avard, your host, and I'm joined today with Kate Baker for the Network for Educational Opportunity. I didn't even look at the card.
You got it.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
All right,
Happy to be here.
We had you on Speak Up, and we wanted other people to get another look at what you're doing.
Thank you.
And this is one of those programs that is ideal. It's thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
And it's an answer to a long and exhaustive search over time where people were pushing for vouchers, but this isn't a voucher program. They're
Right.
pushing for alternatives for the kids that kind of slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
So tell us what's happening lately with your program.
Sure. Well, let's just give the viewers a quick, what I do is run a scholarship organization.
Mhm.
And my scholarship organization gives scholarships to children so they can choose a different school. So like you were saying, you're talking about kids who are falling through the cracks.
Right.
So the scholarships can be for an out-of-district public school or a private school or for homeschooling, and particularly to help parents really be empowered to be able to choose a school that they otherwise wouldn't be assigned to. You know how you're assigned to a school by zip code, right?
Right.
So you live in a particular neighborhood, and so they say, okay, you go here. And sometimes that here just isn't the right option for that kid.
It just seems,
So I'm trying to kind of break down those walls.
It seems like the whole idea of choice, a modern day term that everybody really likes, is all of a sudden a threatening term when it comes to education. How do you break down that wall?
That's really interesting that you say that, because I actually find that if I refer to options, if I talk about options, or if I talk about freedom in education, or parental freedom, that people don't, that is fine.
Right.
But yes, saying, school choice or whatever is kind of polarizing. So it doesn't, to me, I try and ignore that stuff,
Right.
Kevin, because what matters to me is these stories that I've heard from families. So a family wrote to me and has a child who has autism and wants to send them to a different school that's smaller, where they would have smaller classes, where they wouldn't have such a stimulating environment, okay?
And that's one of the things they struggle with, right?
Makes perfect sense to me.
Exactly.
That's 100% why I do this work and want to make scholarships available to kids, and why I've been trying to raise this money to be able to give the scholarships. That's another interesting, kind of frustrating piece about my update, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been working on this scholarship program, raising money to give scholarships to kids, but people in the news call it a voucher.
But it's not a voucher.
And the difference is,
right,
a voucher would be state allocated funds that they would give to me if I was appointed to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would give that money to kids. Instead, I'm a nonprofit scholarship organization that actually applied to be able to do this work.
Right.
And so it's outside of the
So the state doesn't have its fingers in manipulating.
And that's the benefit, right? Is
Right.
it doesn't create any more bureaucracy or red tape or anything like that. But also, when people call it a voucher, then people assume I'm being given the money.
Right.
And I haven't been given a dime, okay? Like, I've been raising this money.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go to individuals and businesses and ask for contributions. Yet this particular media battle that exists because it's so controversial that Kate Baker wants to help kids is making it so it's harder, I think.
Who's pushing this anti?
Oh my, I don't know if we should talk about that.
Okay, well, that's fine. Let's talk about the positives.
I will say that there are people that want children, it seems like, to be only in the public school.
Right.
And it's not the teachers, and it's not the parents,
right,
and it's not the general public.
When I first heard about this, I believe it was a former Representative Greg Hill. I don't know if he's a representative now.
He is not.
He is not.
He's the Honorable Greg Hill now.
Honorable, right. And he is honorable. And he's one of the spokesmen for this as well. And he's pushing this along with Kathy Rago, former honorable.
Representative as well, yeah.
They saw the need, and they saw, well, this is the great alternative. There are thousands of parents out there that are, they're just not fitting into the system. They need an opportunity.
Right.
They need the opportunity to, at least have a little bit of flexibility. This provides that with with scholarship money.
Right.
from-
That's freely donated, voluntarily donated. So the cool thing about this is it's not a forced thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like people will say, okay, well, the state's money shouldn't be used for this or that, or people are being forced to pay for something. Or the cool thing about this is it's totally voluntary. So businesses donate because they want to help kids.
Right.
Kids apply because they want to get a scholarship to need help. And I voluntarily, as an organization, chose to participate
Right.
and work within the constraints to be able to use that tax credit as an incentive for businesses. So it's like a totally voluntary, it's a win-win, right? And also, just one more point, it also saves money for the state. So not only do I get to save the state money, I get to help maybe, 1,000 kids.
Right.
Totally a win-win, right? 100% win-win.
As far as eligibilities, there were about 1,000 or 11,000 kids throughout the state that eventually.
that kids could apply?
Yes.
So it's about 50% of the population in New Hampshire that fits in the income guidelines. So
Okay.
half the people in New Hampshire could apply. Families in New Hampshire could apply for this. So I couldn't tell you exactly how many children that is without going and doing a bunch of math.
All right.
But it's a lot of kids that could apply for this. We're going to award scholarships based on highest need. And to us, that's the lower income families.
And the
And
beauty.
that's a choice, though. Again, a choice that we as a scholarship made. And there could be 10, 20, 50. There's no limit to the amount of scholarship organizations that could pop up
Right.
to be able to help maybe different people.
And
maybe,
everybody's probably just waiting to see how the program
maybe
works before.
because my organization wants to help kids based on highest need, of lower income families. Other people might pop up that want to do different kind of things.
And the beauty about
Maybe
it
a
is,
geographic area,
if
right?
there's a company that wants to donate, it's not like they can donate. Hey, I want this money to go to this kid. I want it to go to this kid. It goes to the organization.
Sure.
The
Yeah.
kids. So
Right. People are making donations to us. Actually, individuals are also donating, and not just businesses.
So
So
nobody's-
businesses can get a tax credit of
Right.
85%, not 100%, and that's okay. Still a nice incentive to donate. But in general, it's tax deductible, and individuals are also contributing so
Right.
that we can do this work and help children. So it's been really pretty amazing. Actually.
I guess one of the things I wanted to bring out also is that there's no favoritism here.
Right.
It's like a blind trust, if you will.
It's math.
right.
We have to give an average of 2,500 or lower for scholarships, and so you can imagine that it's a distribution with that 2,500 in the middle, and because we consider need to be lower income families fall in higher scholarships, and higher income families fall within the lower. It's just math. So that is nice that a business can trust that we are giving scholarships to people that have real need, and we've verified their income through their tax returns using a outside source called Facts. It's been really awesome. The stories are amazing, and
One of the things that really frustrated me over the years when we are all talking about the voucher system, which this is not.
I almost just threw the water on you, and then I thought about your microphone.
Which this is not.
Because every time someone says this is a voucher,
And-
people think
Right.
the state is giving me money, Kevin.
Right.
And the state has not given me a dime, nor will they ever give me a dime. Scholarship organizations in New Hampshire raise this money to give it to children.
And that's what I'm trying to make the differentiate. And I appreciate you. You understand she's passionate about that. And you're right. But one of the things that was very frustrating about the argument
Yes,
in the past was,
fine.
well, if you allowed it, then only the rich kids would be going to school. Now, this
What?
is a program that is not.
Can you explain that?
Exactly.
What?
It was a false argument.
Oh, yeah.
And it frustrated me because now only the rich kids do go to the private schools, if you will.
Yes, the wealthy have school choice.
They have the
because
opportunity.
They can just move their kid to another school. Sure.
This allows the kids in the lower percentage.
Level the playing field.
Exactly.
Right?
Without using your tax dollars.
Maybe help a kid get out of poverty. Okay, if you're in a poverty neighborhood, in a poverty school, and you stay there, right? Maybe something like this can help you go to the school 2 neighborhoods away, where you're going to meet a whole different kind of kids and a whole different kind of environment and be exposed to a completely different. I think it's life-changing
Right.
for the children who use these scholarships. Stories of children being bullied,
Yep.
Stories of children just falling through the cracks and being D and F students. Stories of people, again, with special needs. You know, just families calling me and saying, I have a real need and here it is. And this is why I want to send my child to this different school because they don't fit here and this is the best option for them. And I really want to help these families. And
What's the application process like to
so
apply for the
it's kind
scholarship?
of a pain in the butt. Yeah, but it's rigorous. Again, it's online. It's called fax. We use an outside provider to process the applications. Can you imagine me shuffling through 700 pages, tax
Right.
returns? No. So we kind of automated that part of the process.
So not only are you helping the kids that are falling through the cracks with this program, but nobody's going to be abusing this program either because
I've just made it, systemized it.
You vetted it. They're
Yeah,
qualified.
Right.
It's not
Yes.
somebody's going to take advantage of it and just throw it away.
There's no take advantage.
Right.
These are people who want to send their kid to a private school or a different public school, and they're willing to pay something for it too.
Right.
How could that possibly? There was a debate in the New Hampshire House about this because someone was trying to repeal it, right? We did kill that repeal bill in the Senate, but when it was being heard in the House, someone stood on the floor of the House of Representatives and said, what if homeschoolers use this money for beer? Listen, homeschoolers dedicate an entire person's whole life to being at home educating their kids, okay? If those are not people who are going to take a scholarship and spend it on education related, let me just tell you, by the way, they have to submit receipts, okay? So the person was being totally ridiculous. Yeah, they have to submit receipts, but you know what? Even if they didn't, would they squander the opportunity to have a scholarship for their children for education related expenses? These are people who have dedicated a whole person, right? The parents that are calling me are parents that are looking, they're searching for help. They're searching for opportunities for their children, right? Squander. Frankly, how dare you even think about that and say that in this whole, you know what I mean? Not that you're saying it, but.
No, it was on, like you said, it was on the House floor.
It doesn't.
But sometimes people get up there, they like to just be heard.
It doesn't make any, the arguments that I'm hearing from the people opposed to this program don't make any sense. The arguments don't make any sense. This helps kids. It saves the state money. The controversial piece, yes, is that a business can get a tax credit for part of their contribution. There's so many tax credits out there that for some reason this particular tax credit is really controversial.
Right. And it saves the state money.
Really?
It gives the kids the opportunity to get out of the rut, if you will, or the program. I can remember, and I've told this to Greg when he came on the show. I remember struggling in school. I've known kids. I know a guy. He is an amazing guitar player. He graduated second in his class at Berkeley. He basically flunked through the public schools until he found an interest. And it wasn't until after school that
he had the opportunity to pursue that. Sure, and maybe, again, an arts school or homeschooling and being able to do music all the time or something like that might have been a great fit for that kid. My whole point is to empower those kids, to empower those families and those kids, and to help them by building a bridge, right? Building a bridge that gets them part of the way to being able to achieve their goals, their individual education goals for their family and their kids.
Right.
So,
And you are able to be reached how?
Oh, my website is networkforeducation.org. And my email is kate@networkforeducation.org.
So if you're a business and you want to contribute.
Oh my gosh. And my cell phone number is 603-785-0174. I actually answer also the calls from families because I care about talking to them. And sometimes they're surprised that it's me on the phone, the family.
Oh, well, fantastic.
But that's the point, right? I want to help these people. I want to raise this money for scholarships. I want to help businesses find out about it so they can sponsor a child. I want to help individuals find out about it so they can sponsor a child. So yeah, networkforeducation.org has that info.
Do you have any events coming up in the near future that you're going to be speaking at, or?
That's a good question. I don't.
Okay.
I don't have anything that I'm going to. I mean, have some things politically that I have to do, but
Okay.
nothing that anybody could come and
It's
see.
a constant fight, isn't it?
It has been a constant fight. You know, funny, I spoke to someone in another state in Pennsylvania where they passed this education tax credit legislation, and this woman started a scholarship organization, and there was no controversy. There was no legislative battle. There was no legal battle. There was nothing. She just launched her program and started raising money. She said that was hard. She said it was hard to launch and raise money still. And I'm surrounded by rocks and sticks and
How many states has this been approved in?
11. There's 11 other states that
And how many times has this gone to the Supreme Court?
once, and it's already been proven constitutional in the U.S. Supreme Court, the Arizona case.
And so it's not as though, this is new. It's gone through.
It is not new idea nationally.
Nationally,
it is
it's
a new
not new.
idea in New Hampshire.
All right.
And I think it will take time for people to find out about it and time for it to grow, because New Hampshire is really, as we know, very traditional and very grassrootsy. And so it's going to take a while, I think, for it to sink in. But yes, in other states, there's been no controversy surrounding it. In some states, there has. It's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Right.
But I intend to continue to work and fight the battle until, I'm just doing it. Maybe
you're one person.
10 years from now, I'm going to be doing the same job.
You're one person. If other people wanted to be helping you, they can contact you.
Yeah.
They can contact their
Sure.
local legislator.
Yep. They can
And-
contact their senator and share with them that they should continue to stand strong on the education tax credit and that it should exist. They
What's
could
the-
make a small contribution to our work. They could send me an email and I can send them flyers
Okay.
about the organization so that they can help me get the word out either to businesses, or if they want to help me recruit and find families that maybe want scholarships, people
Right.
could help me in that way too.
Well, maybe we can have you back on the show to see how things are progressing in the near future.
Sure.
And
I love that.
maybe we can have some people give a testimony as to
That
what
would be
progress have been
great.
made. Okay.
That'd be great.
Great. Well, we want to thank you for watching Gate City Chronicles.